I'm Brett, the digital strategist here from AGA. Let's talk about generations in the workplace. Whether you were prepared or not, the millennials are taking over the workspace. We here at AGA are a millennial company. We are based on millennials, we hire millennials, we do a lot of work for millennials. And that's because we kind of understand millennials. And we've set out in order to do research, we've set out to ask a lot of questions that nobody else is asking.
There are a ton of materials out there that talk about the different generations and how they're gonna play together when it comes to working in the same space, when it comes to project management, when it comes to how are you gonna motivate them. And it's been a big deal. It's a big deal all over media, it's a big deal in books and in movies, and we're even seeing TV shows. It talks about this different generational conflict. You've got baby boomers and Gen Xers and millennials, and they're all together merged into one workplace. And how are we gonna handle the conflict and still make sure we get maximum production?
And the millennials that work here are not just working for us, but they're working towards their own future. So a lot of the millennials that people were afraid of when they're taking over the workspace, you know, whether it's the Gen X or the baby boomers or some of these older companies that have been established for years on end, they kind of looked at this millennial generation coming up and said, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna be able to handle them? How are we gonna be able to manage them? And they think that they're entitled. They think that they're lazy. They don't wanna put in their time, or they know everything. And so how in the world am I supposed to work with them? Dave and I have made it a point to do a lot of studies on millennials specifically because that's who we are. We need to understand who we are if we're going to work with people like us. I can generalize and say millennials are this, that, and the other thing, but it doesn't matter. I need to get to the heart of who the person is. I need to understand them, I need to be able to trust them if I'm to work with them. And so for me, it's not so much as you're a millennial, you're a Gen X, you're a Gen Z, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is if I can trust them or not.
The millennials don't care about putting in the time, they care that the job is finished and that they're proud of it, and that they did something to affect the greater whole. That's what they care about. And that's what I want to motivate. That's how we run our company, is to say, what are you gonna do? Does it have impact? Is it good for us? And do I trust you to do it? And at AGA specifically, that's always been our main question. Do I trust you? Do I trust you to do it? And I trust my generation. I know we've been called a lot of things. I know we've been called lazy and entitled. I know we're called know-it-alls and those that don't want to put in their time. And I don't care. Because I know who we are. Where you see laziness, I see efficiency. Where you see someone that doesn't want to put in the time, I see someone that cares that the job gets done. And only that.
For all those who are worried about the millennial generation coming up into the workplace, hey, guess what? We're already here. There's nothing that people can do about it. Unfortunately, for good or for bad, whether you prepared for it or not, it's already here. The millennials are taking over the workplace. But we're not even worried about that because it's already done. We're worried about this next generation coming up into the workspace, Generation Z. For those people who are students now in high school who are going to be going to the workforce, are you prepared for them?
Nobody was particularly excited for my generation to come in and take over. But I'm gonna tell you something else. As a millennial, I am excited about Gen Z, the creators. They're out here, they're in high school now, they're in college now, and they're just getting ready to come up behind us. Guys, the millennials, we're 30 now, so our time has already arrived. We're already occupying it. So, to my millennial generation, operating businesses and working and managing and trying to get the most out of one another, let's do something that we wish other generations would have done for us. Let's prepare the way. Let's get excited about what this next generation has to bring. To us, the other generations, the Gen Xers and the baby boomers, have always seen us as kids. And comparatively, they're right. But there's kids coming up behind us now. Let's prepare the way for them. They're gonna be awesome.
So stay with us for the next couple weeks. We're gonna be continuing our talks about Generation Z in the workplace. What does it look like? How is your company gonna prepare for them? How are they going to respond to your product, your brand, your company, or even you on a personal level? And the biggest one, can you trust them? I'm Brett, the digital strategist here at AGA Productions.
I'm Dave O, head of R&D here at AGA Productions. We'll see you next Wednesday.